Hi, I'm Becca, and you are watching the sixth of my blogs, my video blogs, about my experience having gastric banding surgery. And most of my blogs up to this point have been really cheery and uplifting and positive. This one, not so much. I've had a rough couple of weeks, and I debated whether or not to share this with you, but I think if you are considering getting the band, or you are a lap band patient and maybe new in your journey, you should understand these kinds of things that can happen and maybe understand my experience so you know how to avoid them a little bit. It is cathartic for me to talk about it, and so how about you just pretend like you're my therapist and listen to my story. So, a few weeks ago I had my fourth lap band adjustment. Just as a recap, if you haven't watched all of my blogs, a lap band adjustment happens when your doctor accesses the band through the port under your skin and puts fluid into the band to restrict or pulls fluid out of the band to open it back up. So this was my fourth adjustment to have a little bit more fluid put in. And after we have an adjustment, we should be on liquids for a couple of days to allow the stoma time to heal and any swelling that's happened because of that adjustment to go down before we start eating solid foods again. And either I tried eating something solid too soon, or there was just too much liquid in the band, but either way, I was unable to get down anything except water. And this went on for about 5 days, and by the 6th day, I couldn't drink water, and it got to the point in that day where I couldn't even swallow my own saliva, which was gross. And so I was hungry, I was starting to get dehydrated, and I was incredibly grouchy. And so at 9 o'clock at night, on a Friday night, I called my doctor's office and said, I'm in trouble. And they were very gracious and met me first thing the next morning to take some of that fluid back out of my band so that I could at least rehydrate myself. This wasn't the first time. I was really glad that I had chosen a doctor who was close to my home. And it's not the last time, I'm sure, that I'll be glad I made that choice. I was also very grateful that I chose somebody who was kind and supportive and helpful. If you're considering having lap band surgery, I can't emphasize to you enough how important it is for you to research your surgeon well and find somebody who's really interested in your long-term success. So anyway, I had fluid taken back out of the band. And the first couple of days went great. I was able to get rehydrated and I felt better and I was able to drink a lot of water, and I was really enjoying the fact that I had lost 5 pounds during that week-long fast. But as soon as I started on solid foods again, I realized that I had very little restriction since a lot of the fluid had been taken out of my band. And what I thought I would do is just, eat carefully and try not to regain. But unfortunately, what happened was I realized I could eat the kinds of food that normally the band wouldn't appreciate me eating, and definitely in amounts that I would not have been able to eat before. And I'm ashamed to say that I completely lost control and started into my old behaviors again. Binging, hiding, eating a lot of things I shouldn't have. I ate bags of chips, I ate cookies, I ate blocks of cheese. And I realized that I was back into full-out binge mode. And it was really humbling because I realized that underneath my band, I'm still a food addict. And that that's not going to go away just because I have a band. So this experience has made me very grateful for my band and for the control that it gives me. Control that I have to admit I don't have on my own. This experience has also made me very grateful for my surgeon and his office staff, because when I emailed the office and confessed that I had just finished eating an entire bag of Ritz crackers, they could have responded by saying, good grief, chubby, a little self-control would be great. But they didn't. They were supportive and understanding, and they immediately set me up an appointment with our office nutritionist so that I could get a very specific food plan to follow for the next week or so until I can get some of that fluid put back in my band and I can have restriction again. So now that it's been a couple weeks out, I have the ability to look back and evaluate this difficult few weeks rationally, and I think I've learned a couple of lessons. The first thing I've learned is obey the rules, and when you're supposed to be on liquids, stay on liquids and be very, very cautious. Stay patient. The second thing is I'm still a food addict. Even though I have the band to help me control that, I have to recognize the fact that I have a problem, and I probably will for life. So I need to stay humble. And third, I've realized that the support of my doctor and his staff and my family are invaluable to me when I have a snag in my journey, so I need to stay grateful. So anyway, hopefully the rest of my blogs won't be depressing like this, but thank you for listening. I know that I promised that you could see my husband. We were going to have him come on and share what it's like to support somebody who has a lap band. So he's up next time, and we'll see you soon.